What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely.
What if you were given the opportunity to step outside your comfort zone and make a profound difference in the lives of young people, despite having no prior experience, but having a vision of how to do things differently? My answer was a resounding yes. And I'm about to tell you a story about persistence, pushing boundaries, the value of actually having a story to tell, and unselfishly giving back. I will show you the importance of making people want to listen to you, but not open to it at first, and why you should strive to regularly be outside your comfort zone. My name is Sam Bergh, and for 9 months I was a teacher for youth with learning disabilities. In early 2021, I lived in New York, and after dedicating 15 years to DHL, I found myself at crossroads. I was facing some challenges, contemplating internal transfers, or actually leaving the company altogether. But suddenly nothing mattered. I got a call from my father telling about a serious health problem he had. And a couple of months later, I was on a plane back to Sweden to spend some precious time with him. And shortly thereafter, he passed away. And unexpectedly, 27 days later, my bonus father passed away. So overwhelmed by grief and confronted by a new reality, I was content with being unemployed. My friends thought differently, and in particular one who said, "Sam, we need to grab lunch. Please have lunch with me on Thursday." So I did. And he told me about his wife, who I also knew was a principal at a local private school, and she needed help. So I met with Anne and Henrik, and she offered me a job. Flexible in how many hours I could work, or when I needed unexpected breaks or days off. So my father was a well-known 1 to 3rd grade teacher in a community of 20,000 people. So it was not only big shoes to fill, but quite emotionally, constantly reminder of him, and also meet his former colleagues. My lack of a teaching background wasn't really an issue. The leadership wanted to try something completely new and outside the box. So I was entrusted with the freedom to follow my vision, and any positive impact I could have on the students would be considered a success. So I felt very honored by the confidence they had in me, but at the same time, it was a great pressure to feel for myself, because I didn't want to fail in this, as I saw, very important mission. My role was, in the beginning, to take care of students grades 7 to 9 with learning disabilities, and for 1 day a week, give them support in English and Swedish, and possibly other subjects on the schedule that they needed help with. They face various challenges, learning disabilities, disruptive home environments, could be a dad that wasn't around, a mom that wasn't around, or in some cases, neither parent was really around. So a completely new situation for me, and I remember coaching myself before the class, just like an actor entering the role of a teacher, trying to just stay in the character, don't let my guard down. I was completely outside my comfort zone, but what a great learning experience it was. Because when we walk into a meeting at work, we're usually there because someone has invited us. Someone wants to hear our expertise in what we do at DHL. Or we might have pursued and courted a customer, and they give us an hour or two. But this is completely new. Standing in front of a crowd of students that really don't want to be there. They just want to get out of there. So how would you approach that problem? First of all, I firmly believe that most success stems from a disciplined approach and a structure. So I established some simple rules, like removing your baseball hats when you enter the classroom. Be quiet so other people can study. I fostered a respectful atmosphere where they can dare ask questions without their friends trying to mock them. I was a fair judge, jury, and executioner in the classroom. So I clearly explained the rules. I clearly explained the consequences for a breach of the rules, and they confirmed understanding both. But it took mere seconds for the first warning to be issued. It took less than a minute for the second warning, and less than 2 minutes for the first student to be sent out. He didn't really mind because, remember, they didn't want to be there in the first place, so he happily left. And there is one more consequence. When you get sent out, you get automatic detention and a call home. So after the first day and first class, I had 4 students waiting for detention outside the principal's office. They resented me, but I had their attention. Secondly, every class I prepared with not only the facts, but how can you apply it today? How can you apply it to the world? What goes on in the world? How does this fit in? So just like I put myself outside the comfort zone, I put them outside the comfort zone. They had to actually think and build up arguments and build their arguments with facts. And if they had an opinion and a good argument, stand by your opinion. Explain to me. One of the most frequent questions I got was, "Can we leave early today?" I said, "No, why?" And was followed by a big sigh, and they sat down again. Until one day, when one of the most rambunctious students, he said, "Yeah, I have an argument." "Great," I said. "Please, I'll sit down over here. Stage is yours. Tell me, why should you leave early?" And he started, "Well, Sam, you see, our class ends 30 past the hour, but our bus leaves 30 past the hour, and that means that we're going to miss the train, and we're going to get home 1 hour later. And today is such great weather, I think that would be a shame. So if we could leave 20 past the hour, we have 5 minutes to get our books into the locker, 5 minutes to catch the bus. We can catch the bus, catch the train, get home 1 hour earlier. So actually, 10 minutes here less would mean 1 hour less, and we can have fun and enjoy the afternoon." So this came from the most unexpected source. So I could just applaud him and say, "Class, please applaud him." And we're going to end class 20 past the hour, provided that you are working still and keeping silent. So for once, he wasn't the villain, he was the hero. A completely new role for him. Soon I was, in addition to this, giving civic education and Swedish classes for 1 full day, for classes of 25 students. I was in total teaching 4 full days a week, substituted for grade 1 to 9 in all the subjects: physics, biology, chemistry, math, technology, German, and the original Swedish, English, and civic education. I remain steadfast in my belief of having engaging lessons, fostering a calm environment where they can study. And the word spread. I had interesting classes, and I wasn't to mess with. And in the end, really no one wanted to be kicked out of class. Of course, there were some moments still when they tried to test me and became a bit wild. And I remember one instance in particular. One 8th grader said, I feel violated. You have violated my rights and you have offended me, and I'm going to report you to the school board. I mean, it was really nothing there, but that's really sad. And normal-wise, I understand that teachers, they don't have the luxury I had. I was going to be there for a limited time. So I had the luxury of calling his bluffs. So I said, okay, you go ahead and report me. I hope that your parents are ashamed when you do. So I'm going to explain to you one thing. I'm not here for myself. I don't need this job. I'm here for you. I'm going to teach you something. I have a clear mandate from the school leadership to do that in the way I feel best to do. So now either you sit down and shut up, or I will have to ask you to leave. I never had such a quiet and calm classroom. In contrast to that authoritarian role I played in the classroom, in the corridors and in the schoolyard, I tried to connect with my students, I engaged with them, asked about how hockey was, how was spring break, and what do you do in the weekend. And they trusted me with their problems. It could be everything from at home to girl problems, sport problems, whatever. And the left here you see Malte, who is an excellent young hockey player with ambitions to play in the big leagues. Melker, a wonderful, happy guy. And I taught them the value of perseverance, pushing them and never give up. Became their cheerleader, their support, and a confidant. A role that some of them had from an adult before. So 9 months later, several students had gone from failing their grades to passing. I had taught all subjects on the schedule, substituting for classes from grade 1 through 9. And my proudest moment, I think, was when Matthias, here, second from right, came running in the corridor, the biggest smile on his face. I got a B! I got a B! He had never got a B before. And that B, in Swedish rhetoric, lifted him from a failed F to pass in Swedish. So how do we do that? Well, instead of focusing on what he didn't like and was boring, we had over the year worked on developing his rhetorical skills. And he was obviously good at it, and he liked it. He liked to talk. So thanks to the freedom I had from the school leadership, I could lift him and his grades. He delivered a very passionate public speak assignment without any notes, and to a very big surprise for the audience. When I was back in spring 2023, I was substituting for a day, and Carl here to the right, he called the others who were skipping school and said, Guys, you need to come to school. Sam is here and he's teaching today. What a wonderful experience. They wanted to skip school, but he called them in and they came. I'm just a regular sales guy from DHL. I'm not a teacher. So how could this be possible? I'm not a trained teacher. What did I learn from it? And what did I bring back to the corporate world? I knew it was important to have a message, but I didn't truly understand the importance. Before I stepped outside my comfort zone, I found myself in front of 25 youngsters with their own sole purpose of the hour to try and break the new substitute, me, just like they did with the other one, and send me out crying and packing. So what I tried in this was have a message, be resilient and be fearless, fair and unselfish. I had values and tried to be honest and have integrity in my conversations with them, and absolutely show that I cared. I was reminded to remember where I come from, be humble and grateful for the various gifts that we have and to nurture them. And if you're good at something, try to get better. But excel where you really have the talent. Step outside your comfort zone. And really, if you think about it, what's the worst thing that can happen? In 99% of the cases, we're going to be all fine. At the graduation ceremony, I revealed to to the students one of my hidden talents and perform a rewritten version of Puff Daddy, Sting's I'll Be Watching You, I'll Be Missing You. After a couple of seconds of hesitation and disbelief, they started to clap the beat. And they all knew I was moving back to the United States. So when I came to the phrase, should I try to stay? Should I fly away? The whole church erupted in a big cheer. Afterwards, many wanted selfies. They want to follow me on social media, the bad boys included. So the final class I had for my students, I wanted to send them a message. So I said to them, when life gives an opportunity to push yourselves, grab it. You can do it. It's spooky to face the unknown, but it's very educative. And most importantly, as I said to them, the winner is not the one who never gets knocked down. The winner is the one who gets knocked down and gets up. Again and again and again. And every time he gets up, he gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's the winner. Embrace unexpected. Challenge yourselves. Have faith in yourselves to step outside your comfort zones. And when I think back to when I got the offer to be a teacher, those 9 months is the most rewarding things I've done in my professional career. To be able to give back to these students that didn't have an easy time in school. To unselfishly giving back. And also for myself, to challenge myself, step outside the comfort zone. And really understand the importance of making people want to listen to you. So that is the only way to drive constant and true progress. And that's where I want to send with you. Thank you for listening, and I'm going to leave you with this.
I've been watching you. Every single day. Every word you say. Every word you write. Every night you're out. I've been watching you. Oh, can't you see? What you mean to me? Should I try to stay? Should I fly away? Every move you make, every pen you bring, every plane you hold, every lie you told, I miss you.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller.